Alright, I'll admit it, I have a problem. I consistently try to outdo the last video I put out with each new video that I upload. Before I know it, I've invested 56 hours into a build that I never knew I would invest 56 hours into. But it is always worth it. Today, I transform my friend's Blimp, Lone Spider 28, from our survival server into a Fire Nation airship. And of course, first things first, I'm going to go ahead and just get the overall structure of the airship down first. I'm going to be trying a bunch of different designs, as you can see here, but just whichever one that seems the most aesthetically pleasing is going to be the one that I go for. Also very important, we're going to go ahead and just keep the walls of the build 1 block thick. This is a massive build, so I'm not really thinking about the 12 block push limit all that much. Reason being is because there are techniques that you can use to pull pieces of the machine forward so you don't have breaks in it, like such for that walkway. Now, as well, there are so many times in this build where I become almost too overwhelmed, where I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'm not going to be able to do this, or, you know, I start judging myself or my ability to build slime block robots for some reason, even though I haven't failed a robot, not once. So it's okay to feel that way. Sometimes you have to take a break, take a step back. That's completely all right, because then you come back and you get inspiration from it, like right here. Obviously, what I'm doing is trying to make Phoenix King Ozai's airship, but I couldn't make a proper Phoenix head for it. But I'm not going to get rid of those swirls on the build, like the flame swirls. They just look too cool. So I went ahead and put a regular airship head on the front. It's like a dragon's head, but I still interpreted the Phoenix King flare to it. Now that we have the structure, it's time to throw in all the slime stone, and obviously I'm going with my piston wall technique again, because obviously it's probably one of the best ways to build these crazy machines and also keep a really nice hull to it that makes it look aesthetically pleasing as well. Right here, there were pieces that could only be pushed from outside of the build, so that was definitely a pretty big challenge. But if you ever get overwhelmed while you're making these big machines, the best thing to keep in mind is just take it one step at a time. Now, I know it sounds crazy, but I mean, that's what you're doing already, is just building this beast one step at a time the entire time. So don't get too overwhelmed with it. Just try to keep your mind on that one simple task of just building that one piece, and once you're satisfied with it, keep going. Coming back to the back of the build where the entire machine will be pushed forward from, we're going to go ahead and put in our last piston wall, but I'm just going to be working on half of it. Reason being is because this is a very, very, very cluttered area, and I want to make it as simple for myself as possible so I don't get overwhelmed. Because once I have half of it done, I can copy it into a structure block and then paste it to the other side. As well, I also figured that using Galactus's infinite instant updater system was the best way to go, so everything moved at once. Right here, I wanted to keep this in. I accidentally break the build right here, but what I do is use structure blocks and copy paste them to the other side to fix it, and I'm glad I did because I even saw another area that needed fixing as well. Another great thing to remember is the organization of your build. It's already going to be super chaotic given that it's a slime block robot, but as long as you're not crisscrossing sections and it makes sense where you're pushing other sections from, you can actually keep the build pretty organized, even though it obviously looks chaotic. Now next up, I'm going to go ahead and put in the engine of the build and everything that's going to be pushing forward where you're going to be able to stand and walk around in the build. Now, a fun tip as well, if you want to make moving rooms, moving buildings, everything like that, fence gates and just your trapdoors, everything like that, are the best ways to actually still take up a block space, but still have your character be able to move through that block space. And I use a ton of trapdoors to make this build look aesthetically pleasing. But, of course, after 36 hours of building, I am ready to test this machine. And probably the most helpful hint of this entire video is that I was using the replay mod to show me where the machine was breaking. It's probably the best way to slow down the game. You don't even have to make a replay. You can just slow it down from the replay viewer. As you can see here, I put in one too many trapdoors, so it was pushed forward twice, updating the piston in front of it so it couldn't move forward. Now right here, I put it in very, very good slow motion for you. When this segment is pulled, those pistons at the bottom are not going to push, obviously because those observers need to be pointing straight down into the slime blocks, but you can see those trapdoors are going to be over those observers as well. So it may update those pistons and not be able to move it properly. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just move that back 1 block, go ahead and throw in those observers upside down how I was wanting to. And I even noticed that the carpet in the background was breaking because the segment underneath it moved before the carpet moved. I'm just going to go ahead and replace the carpet with some trapdoors. Total build time for the Fire Nation airship was 56 hours and some change. And obviously if you want to fly this machine yourself, then I encourage you to like this video. If this video gets 195 likes, then I'll put the world download for this massive build in the description. And congratulations to all the Bedrock Edition subscribers for reaching 220 likes on the Siren Head video. Tutorial for that coming soon. But once the world download is in the description for this build there, I don't doubt you guys. You can come in through the front or the back of the build. Coming up the stairs, you can actually see here that there's an immovable block hanging out, about 10 blocks from that observer pointing down. And there's that button on the side of the sticky piston. Once pressed, obviously your machine will move forward, and you can honestly stand anywhere inside the hull. But if you enjoyed watching this video of the Phoenix King of Getting His Butt Whooped airship, then I definitely encourage you to subscribe. More videos like this one on the way, but until that next video, you guys, later late. If you want to check out more videos like this one, then I encourage you to click on the Oppa video that you're seeing there. But if you want to just see what my channel thinks is best for the viewer, then you can click on the other option.